Hey, welcome back to the Castellano channel where we're going to be talking about life, love, and marriage. First of all, let me introduce my lovely, beautiful wife, Linda.
Hi.
And of course, I'm David.
Sugar.
And today we're going to be talking about date night.
No.
Okay, so today what we're going to be talking about is date night. And one of the key points is that it is very necessary in any relationship, whether if you're new or if you've been in this relationship for quite some time. It's always important to disconnect from everything that's consuming your time to spend time with your loved one. And this can be anywhere. You can just go out on a simple date. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate unless you would like for it to be elaborate. But the whole point is to reconnect and to refresh and renew, or you will disconnect.
And I want to say the reason we started date night was because we had got custody of our grandkids, and it was something that we had not intended for our lives. And so we were already inundated with teenagers, and we had already had a grown child. And so what we did, our bonus child. So what we did was we pretty much had to set aside time to connect because we had found ourselves growing apart. And so when people say growing apart, what really they mean is they're not connecting. They're not making the time to connect. So we made a conscious effort to connect and to do date night. And so I remember when we first started doing date night, it was the issue of money, and it was the issue of can we afford to do date night, and it was the issue of we need to make us a priority. So what we decided to do was, even if date night was at Wendy's or McDonald's or Baba's or wherever, fast food joint. It's a fast food joint. But we did, even sometimes if it was super cold outside or whatever, we would even sit in the car, but we would be in the car together by ourselves and finding ourselves now conversating. And the thing about that too, when we were having our conversation, we weren't conversating about bills or money or work.
Anything that might stress you out.
None of that. So we just conversate about us and what we aspire to do, our hopes and our dreams. Sometimes conversations came up about how we were feeling, and that's a good time to connect.
And we would go through our feelings, hash those out, and let the other person know like what you're going through personally, and if you need their support.
Right.
And vice versa.
But it really started from there. Then it got fun to us. We started going to restaurants and making it a point, and then setting money aside to do it, so that we could make sure to go. Like my favorite place to go is Prairie Steakhouse.
That's an awesome place.
Man, now that's what's
the food
up.
is very, very delicious there.
Yes.
Great ambiance. And
it's romantic.
It's a romantic place. So if you ever are looking for a great date night, it's a bit on the expensive side,
it is expensive.
but it's worth it because it's a great experience.
It's such a great experience. So the ambiance is good, and so then we started setting aside money to be sure to do date night. And so initially, I think we were going every Friday. Yeah, we were going every Friday, and so it would give us something to look forward to. Yeah, and David usually was the one who was picking the restaurants because he's the foodie. He's the one who knows about all the good food and want to try. He's more risque. He'll try stuff. Me, I like safe. I like the safe stuff. So
she's a creature of habit. She loves what she loves, and that's it. She doesn't venture out.
But I'll eat off his plate.
But I'll go to a place looking at everything on the menu and just maybe want to try everything on the menu.
He'll really be like, okay, when we come back, I'm going to try this.
I'll always try something different.
Yes. And he even has tried, what's that thing you tried? Octopus. Fried octopus.
Oh, just octopus. It's really delicious. You got to have it done right.
Is it fried or grilled?
It's grilled. Okay,
octopus. Grilled octopus. He loves it. I tried it. It's hot. It wasn't, I like king crab with it already cut open with the butter. So I don't have to work. Okay, I don't want to work. I just want to put it out.
It's so delicious.
It's so good. Prairie Steakhouse get the best.
All that's right there. Just all that is just going to create a really great time, and
yes.
it'll allow you all a chance to connect, reconnect, especially after you've had a hard week or after a hard couple of weeks, depending on how often you go out. But it's just so important to refresh, renew, to reconnect, and to let the other person know, let your special one, loved one know that your relationship is just as important as everything else that you're going through on a weekly or on a daily basis.
Kids, is this mortgage? Yeah. So we really make it a point. Now we have some additional, bills. We don't go as often. We go every 2 weeks. like really to someplace nice. But we still get together every Friday to do something.
Even if it's at McDonald's, eating
Yeah.
a fish sandwich.
That's
which is her
favorite
favorite.
thing to
She loves those sandwiches.
Yeah, and
you
I only
know,
get to get a for real cheat meal like that once a week.
Her
So
cheat
that's my cheat meal, my
Yeah.
fish sandwich meal.
Yes.
And he goes with me, and I know he don't like. And that's another thing I want to
I would say
mention.
a cheat meal for me would be more like a pasta dish.
Yes, he
with,
likes
with,
the pasta.
with chicken, shrimp, or I love shrimp, love chicken,
And garlic bread.
and garlic bread, like all of. Anyway.
All the stuff. But we could talk about
I could
eating
go
food.
on and on,
We
but
could
we're
talk
not
about eating
gonna
food
go
all
there.
day.
Yes.
So, and I wanted
That
to
would be
say
our
this.
next topic.
Food, just eating food. How some things I know he's not crazy about, like he's really not crazy about McDonald's. And I'm only crazy about the fish sandwich. And it has to be hot, and the fries have to be hot, and it has to be
See,
strawberry
fries,
shake.
I like the fries. But,
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
But he'll do that just for me because he know I love it so much. So he gets to choose places and I get to choose places, and his places are always elaborate and amazing. My place is not always that elaborate. I like the
Oh,
places.
because she's a creature of habit, like I mentioned, so she likes what she knows, and so
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
But I have been
Absolutely nothing wrong.
introduced to some ceviche. Like I would have never ate ceviche before, and I love it. It's one of the most favorite things that basically he mentioned before. I would not try it. Got on vacation, missed the restaurant. The place closed, and the chef just brought me. I said I was starving, and he brought me a bowl of ceviche. I didn't even know what it
Not
was,
knowing what it was.
and I ate it. And Dave was like, "You was eating ceviche."
Well, the funny thing is that
And it had octopus in it.
for no one for anyone who doesn't know what ceviche is, it's like a seafood salsa almost, and that's like a
So
crude way of
good.
explaining it, but it's pretty much
Whitefish,
Pretty much
shrimp,
that.
avocado, tomatoes, onions, and
and
octopus.
It had octopus and squid in it. But anyway,
Oh,
it's like
boy.
something. It doesn't sound like something that might be that tasty unless you really are a true lover of seafood. But if you didn't know what it was and you tried it,
You would love it.
You would love it. You would
Yeah,
just be like,
because
wow, what
after
is
I
this?
saw the tentacles, I was like, "What is this?"
Okay, I think we're getting a little
Okay.
too
Anyway,
far.
I'm just saying it was
we're
good.
going
But
picture.
another reason why I love this about Dave that he would go to McDonald's with me is because marriage is about serving each other, like making sure that each other's needs are met. And so it's the saying, the water is green, the
Wherever
grass
you
is
water
green
it.
wherever you water it. You have to water your grass, you gotta spend some time.
Right.
And so we make sure to spend time. And sometimes, I wanted to mention this, sometimes it seems like we're right at coming up on date night, we're getting on each other's nerves a little bit. Like the week has worn us out.
Right. It's almost
Okay.
it gets to a point where this is something that we want to do, and suddenly we're hit with like, I really don't want to do this anymore.
'Cause I'm tired,
just
I wanna
tired. I
lay
want to
down.
relax. I just want to unwind.
Yeah.
And
And we have to make a
we have to
conscious effort to
push
put the
through that.
commitment to our relationship. And on the times that it's super extremely hard, be the times that be the best date nights. It's wind up being the best because we push through and we're like, we're here.
Can I just say something? All right. In our family, Linda she is the person that like just everybody wants her attention. Okay, everyone wants her attention. And so sometimes when I'm ready to go or I want to go out, it's like either, our children will consume her time, or there'll be like maybe one of her friends will call at the last second or something.
Or our grandkids.
And there are grandkids, and that just takes that. It's just, I feel like I want to get selfish and just like sweep her off her feet and just take her away from all of that, even though it's like what she's doing is spending time with our children, which is absolutely perfect, and she's attending to their needs, and just to get a little bit of face time is great for them. And so I have to develop a little bit more patience with that, but I do get a little jealous because I really want to go. I really want
He's
to
ready
go.
to
I'm
go.
ready to go. So
Ready to
yeah,
go.
it's just to
And
make
so
sure
I'm
it's a
like,
balance.
yeah, so I'm
balance.
really trying, for me, I'm trying to take care of everything I got to take care of so that when he's ready to go, I'm ready to go. But sometimes it don't work like that. And in real life, it don't work like that. So it leads to like, oh my God, what are you doing? Come on, get a car. We made reservations. And and I'm like, okay, let me go. And sometimes, real life happens and your kids need you need to talk to somebody, or something happens with a friend and they call you and they need to talk to you real quick. And I
Okay.
try not to be selfish, but I try to take care of it quickly and so I can go.
Right. So even when you're out on date night, right? You're doing your date night, and then suddenly, I think a lot of times, like especially now with all the smartphones available, everybody's just sort of like they eat their food, they all of a sudden they pull out their phones and they just start, just staring down at their phone, and nothing can be a little bit more irritating if you're trying to spend time with somebody that you really love
True.
to reconnect, and then suddenly you're like pulling up some type of social media and
For entertainment.
for entertainment. It's just like I think that takes away from the relationship, because that's not going to help you to reconnect. So put the phones down, connect, talk, do those things that they're going to bring you back together again.
Right.
Okay?
And it's always, I like that we have agreed to put the phones down, because we both like to be entertained and we both like to laugh a lot. And most of the things, and even on Saturday sometimes, we'll just lay in the bed and look at social media together. And I'll be like, have you seen this? He'll be like, have you seen that? Have you seen? And that's the time for that for us. But when it's date night, it's time to talk about us and to talk about our dreams and to talk about things.
Plan ahead,
and just, what was happy about this week, things like that. So we really tried to do that. And like I said, the reason we came about to even do that was our grandchildren. When they came, we had so much to do with them. We had so much responsibility, and then our teenagers were teenagers, a lot to do with that. So it forced us, we almost was so far apart, just trying to get things done. And I don't remember whose idea was to have date night. I don't remember if it was mine or yours, but thank God we did.
Because it's so easy to get caught up in the hubbub
So
of day-to-day routine, and next thing you know, you'll be drifting apart if you're not making it a priority. So make it a priority.
Make it a priority.
Come together.
And that's what we're
To
saying.
renew, refresh, to reconnect, and to continue to be strong and to finish strong.
I want to mention one more thing before we go. I like to finish strong. That's important, to stay connected, to complete this marriage relationship strong. Then we have to, when they were little, we had to get a babysitter. We had to, if the teenagers wasn't able, we had to map it out, work it out. Sometimes things fell through, and that would be so frustrating. But we still had to commit to doing it. So plan ahead. And I tried to get my prettiest every time it's date night. Because sometimes after work, I felt like I don't feel like doing all of this.
Yeah, especially when you have babies. I remember there was a point in our lives where, we went out for breakfast and we ended up like having to take the kids out when they were babies. And we would get to the restaurant, sit down, and like halfway through the meal, we would, our daughter or our son, they would just start crying, and you had to attend to them and make sure that they were okay. But then, either if it was either me or my wife, it's like we would always feel like, okay, we know you're taking care of this this important thing right now, but at that same time, you're almost feeling jealous a little bit because you really just wanted to have a nice breakfast without any distractions, no interruptions.
It doesn't happen like that. And
But
I had to make sure Sugar understood this is real life. These kids don't care nothing
and this
about
is
us.
just a phase. This is just a phase.
Right. I had to keep saying this is a phase. They grow. They won't always be crying and screaming and knocking the food off the table. This is just for right now. So it's important for us to have our own separate time. And Sugar mentioned being jealous, I think twice so far about the children. Let me explain that. He is a fan of me. And so,
I am a huge fan.
So because of that,
Well, I would say I'm her biggest fan.
yes, he is a fan of me, and I think that's so sweet. That's part of why I love Bo so much. I really do. But at the same time, I have to do other things, and the kids pull at him. I don't even care. But when they pull at me, he be like, Carrie, I don't know what's that about. But we hope that what we were saying and explain to us why date night is important to us, that if and when you're in a relationship or a marriage or things like that you make time. I even make time for my friends. I really make time to spend one-on-one time with each one of my friends, just so we can stay bonded and connected. Time is important. And before we close, the other thing I wanted to mention is prayer. Time with God is important. Time with God first thing in the morning is important. To connect and start your day off right is important. That's a relationship too. That's the most important relationship, because it's God, there's Sugar, then these kids, and then my friends.
True.
So we try to do that in that order. We put it that way. And I just want to say thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Castellanos, Living Life with the Castellanos. And I hope you're able to take some of this with you and make it your own.
So if you like what you heard today, leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, y'all take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.